red rock, that Fort Apache limestone. Sir, we got Dope Mesa, and Mesa in Spanish. And the interesting thing about Jerome is it was a copper mining town. They had as many as 15,000 men working up to a mile underground there. And to make things worse, they had what they call the hot rack system. So some miners would be sleeping, some would be down in the mine, and then they'd switch places. Now the problem was that some of these guys had tuberculosis and other, and what they did was they put the Apaches and the Yavapai together. They were two totally different tribes, different religions, different languages, different cultures. So, you know, imagine putting people together like that and expecting them to coexist. It would have been hard. You notice here from Honanki ruins 4 miles. We had a global flood at one time. The earth was flooded. So the sand would have filtered down to the bottom of the ocean. And when you look at the white sandstone, it's different in its deposition. It's called cross-bedding or angular deposition. They believe that those were ancient sand dunes that would have blown in here. You see kind of a similar shape to a sand dune. So the landscape here would have been much lower to the ground at one time, they say. And because we have earthquakes here and volcanic activity, the tectonic plates would have passed over and under each other, causing uplift. So this, at one time, would have been the southernmost part of the Colorado Plateau. Now it's up by Pink Jeep. Up to the north of us, there's a green wall of the plateau there. That is the southernmost part of the Colorado Plateau at the Mogollon Rim. The power lines out here. At one time, they filmed a movie out here with Elvis Presley called Stay Away Joe. And I understand that when he accepted the movie role, he said he'd only accept it if they put a phone line out here where he could call his mother every night. So the reason they called it a century plant is they used to believe that it took 100 years for that plant to mature. It only takes about 25 years. What happens is, when it becomes mature, it starts shooting a stalk out of the center. That is its rate of 35 inches a day. So I've heard different stories about what they think that this room could have been. They think that it could have been possibly like a midwife's room where they would birth children. They say that this piece of artwork is supposed to be part of the female anatomy. You see this woman here, supposed to be a pregnant woman. Another one right here. And then you see Blackjack Army Band here. We're told that in the 30s there was a guy that was part of Blackjack Pershing's Army Band. He was so proud of his accomplishment that he lived in Prescott. He came out here and discovered these cliff dwellings, and he wanted to be remembered for his time in Blackjack Pershing's Army Band. Wall is representative of possibly 3 periods of time that they would have lived here. You see this segment right here would have been the first time they were here. This would have been the second period of time they were here. And this third one would have been the third period of time they were here. When they were here during this building period, I believe that things could have been relatively good. They could have had a lot of water. You notice the inside of that wall is plastered with mud. So we're told that they also would have plastered the inside of the walls and painted them. So they would have taken the branches off of it and they would have used them for joists to go from this wall to that wall, and then they would have fastened those poles together to make a floor, or a ceiling to the one below and a floor to the one above. If you look up here, you see what might look like another clam shield, but I think what that is it ties in with this artwork down here. You see a human figure with his hands outstretched. You see a group down here of animals with a guy with a bow and arrow. I believe what that could be is training for a good hunt. See the arms outstretched to the sun and moon. See the splatter of mud up there. That could have been depicting either the Milky Way or maybe it would have been here in on tour last week, and the lady goes, "Oh, I guess they didn't honor our request." And I said, "Well, what was your request?" And she goes, "Never mind." So we got out on the trail, and I said, "You really got me curious. What was your request?" And she says, "Well, somebody told us that if we wanted a good guide, we wanted Mike." And I said, "Well, you know, we have a couple of Mikes. No telling what Mike you would have gotten, and you know, one might be better than another. But I'm Scott. I'm gonna be your guide." I said, "Sometimes I'm referred to as trouble, so if you want to get into a little trouble, then you can go with me."